Hey, cousins. Welcome in. Long time no see, right? Over here on the members only. Thank y'all so much for joining the members only. And listen, I got to do better over here with bringing y'all exclusive, only you see first type videos or just private conversations or whatever. I do want to do some lives over here also, but it's just so much happening right now. So I thought I would bring you a little bit of news that you hopefully can use, and to say thank you so very much for supporting the channel. It definitely helps us over here. Um, like I said, at one point we were down to a one income. My husband is back at work now, but those loads aren't flowing like they used to flow. Y'all know the trucking situation that's going on right now. If you've been watching my other videos, those loads aren't really paying a lot. You know, it takes a few loads to get what you need to pay your bills, basically. So, how are y'all today? How are y'all doing today? So, I know that a lot of food banks are not doing well. A lot of people are not doing well. People are in need of assistance because so many things are being cut right now in the government, and people losing their jobs left and right, layoffs and stores closing, and you name it, it is definitely happening, and we're all going through the ringer with that. I included going through the ringer with that. Possibly uh, considering some financial things, if things don't turn around, we may have to consider some things, to save ourselves here. I don't want to get deep into it, but a lot of people are facing those things. And so I found this story and I said, well, this is definitely a story I should share with the cousins and let them know what's happening if they don't know. So I'm going to share, because sharing is caring. Feel free to share any of my videos out. Now, these member only videos won't get shared unless I put them to the public. Right now, it's just for y'all. It's just. So in this article, it says, I always tell people it's going to get worse before it gets better. And people look at me like, what do you mean? And I get it. What do you mean? If they're not paying attention, they're going to say, what do you mean? So it can't get any worse than this, is what a lot of people say. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And yes, it will. So Mike Robinson is at his office computer assessing the inventory for the next 3 months at the food pantry that he runs in Brazil, Indiana. The Clay County Emergency Food Pantry fed 33,000 families with 54,000 pounds of food last year. He's worried about the next 6 months, y'all. However, due to U.S. Department of Agriculture cuts to food banks and food pantries around the country, a lot of these pantries are not going to survive. And that's sad, y'all. He says, we're financially in good shape so far, but many of them survive week to week. This is going to affect farmers and meat producers and so many others in the community. So far, the USDA has cut more than $1 billion in assistance by ending the two pandemic era program, $421 million for the local food purchase assistance program, which enabled states to buy food from farmers and distribute it to the groups that help the communities in need, and $660 million that's dollars, for local food for schools, which allows states to buy food for schools in child care facilities. All right, Jesus. In addition, it halted 500 million in deliveries to food banks via the USDA's commodity. Listen, when that happened, that really ticked me off, because there were trucks that were already en route to these food banks, and they made those truckers not deliver that food. What do you think happened to that food? So you rather waste food than to feed people in need. You're that packed is being felt across the country, challenging food banks already struggling to meet higher demand, with hunger rates increasing in recent years amid inflation and the end of the pandemic era assistance program. In 2023, 13.5% of Americans said they struggled with food insecurity. They said that's the highest rate in nearly a decade. What do you think it's about to be now in 2025? It's just sad. It's just sad that this is where we are. You know, if I'm telling you what's going on with the truckers, and what if the truckers, decide, hey, we're not getting paid to just sit here and wait for loads. You're robbing people of their time that they could be trying to do something else by having them sit and wait, and the load is not coming in from the ports right now. There's nothing to deliver. There's nothing. And people get mad at me for reporting that. Like, I'm not the problem. Your thought process is the problem if you think that me sharing that information and letting you know what's going on, it is something to get mad about. I don't understand some people. I just don't.
From tearing families apart to stopping 20 food trucks in Cleveland because of the Trump budget. 20 food trucks were stopped yesterday from reaching a food bank in Cleveland.
I wish people would get as upset about this as they are about what the NFL is doing to Shedeur Sanders, and the fact that he's actually going in Cleveland now. And they're basing it, talking about, oh, well, he wasn't even going to be drafted. His character, the NFL character, is the same character that sits in the White House, and yet he tweeted out on draft day that they were stupid because they did not pick Shedeur in the first round, not even the third round. They let him slide to the fifth round and essentially robbed him of $30 to $70 million. But I wish people would get outraged about this, because children are going to go hungry. Elderly are going to go hungry. The average person is going to go hungry that needs assistance from a food bank, because maybe their food stamps got cut, or they don't qualify for food stamps because they're working and they just make a little bit over what is allowed for that monthly allotment. Not everybody on food stamps or applying for food stamps is not working. Some people are working and still need help. And so if they can't get the food stamps, well, maybe the food bank ties them over in between checks and stuff like that.
That have claimed America First that are going to be hungrier than they already were, when everything is already so expensive. These people that live below the poverty line are now going to be hungry.
Listen up. You better start going to the grocery stores right now. If you're from New York, if you are not stocked up on food by Monday,
now
you're going to start feeling the pain by the end of that week.
This is an older video.
New Yorkers, truck drivers are going to stop delivering food to New York. You heard me.
I just got a handmade pepper.
Now that happened I can't remember how many months ago. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. And it happened. Now, what if it happens again? Well, the truckers just get fed up. I said that in my video today. They get fed up. Hey, I'm sitting here. I'm not making any money. Most times, there have been times when my husband has gotten a load and hasn't picked it up yet. He's sitting there waiting on the load for hours, and he's fussing and complaining. No wonder he had a heart attack. And then he's calling the company, the dispatcher. Okay, well, are they going to pay me something for sitting here? Because I'm just sitting here when you could just put another load on me. You know, they're not paying truckers to sit. Most times they just sit for free. Free labor in 2025 in this economy, ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, I said what I said, and y'all welcome on into the I Said What I Said podcast. I should start a podcast. I said what I said. Okay, because people just don't like it sometimes when I say certain things. I don't know why. I'm not speaking lies. I try to show y'all everything that I'm saying. So I'm not just, you don't think I'm just sitting here rambling off. Now, there are times I ramble, but it's the truth.
So welcome to Mother Trucker News. Emails at mothertruckernews@gmail.com. Looks like roughly 90 truck drivers were left stranded on the road. Their fuel cards were cut off, and they were said to go to the nearest rider. And now the company is saying that they're going to do their best to try to pay them their final paycheck.
And this was last year, okay? I reported on this. This was last year. And I just reported today that at least 7 or 8 trucking companies have filed for bankruptcy. It's going down, y'all. But I don't hear it anywhere on the news. Now, mind you, I got rid of my direct TV because, you know, they say you need to tighten your budget up right now. So, you know, that was a bill that we wasn't really looking at regular TV. So, okay, we gonna get rid of that. We just look at YouTube. We have Netflix. We have Apple TV. And we got Disney Plus. We used to have Hulu, but I don't have that anymore. So, yeah, we downsizing over here. Families are facing things like it's not just the truckers, it's their families as well. Mouths to feed. Paying for kids in college. I've seen so many stories of people saying, I can't even afford to pay my child's college anymore. You know, I'm struggling. My hours was cut at work. All kind of stuff is going on. And these people out here cutting assistance to food banks. What do they want? The crime to go up even worse when people can't get no food and they decide they're going to be stealing out the stores to feed their children. And then you know what happens with that. It's a domino effect. The stores close up, which some of them are going to close anyway. Some of them are already closing. Lowe's Food is closing the store in Cary, North Carolina. Walmart has closed 154 stores a couple of years back, and then they kind of silently was closing stores, and I started reporting on it. Then more people started reporting on it. And even though they're opening up some stores, remodeling some stores, they also said they're still going to shut down any low performing stores or any stores that's still dealing with high crime, theft, shoplifting. So it's not getting any better. Thank God we have a God. Thank God we can humble ourselves before our God, unlike what I saw today. Listen, your downfall will come when you start humbling and bowing to a man. You hear me? Because yes, I guess he's going to exalt them. That's their God. Trump is now their God, their king, whatever. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's a lot of demonic stuff going on. I want none of it. So y'all, I'm gonna end it here. I did start rambling. I'm probably gonna have to edit this video out and cut some stuff out, but I will leave the most important stuff in there. You hear? So y'all take care. Thank you for joining me on I Said What I Said podcast. Okay. And if y'all want to have more of I Said What I Said podcast, let me know in the comments. Okay. I don't know how many people are going to see this video because, hey, I don't have a lot of membership over here, and that's fine with me. I love small crowds too. Okay. Y'all are just as important and very important to me. And I thank you and appreciate you for supporting my channel over here on Tommy Bites Homestead and this little I Said What I Said podcast. Y'all take care. Stay safe. I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Be the very best you that you could be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Why? Because God is love. And that is what he would want you to do. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with this. Get your pantry together. Get stocked up. Get a little bit at a time. Don't go panic buying. I didn't accumulate this by just grabbing everything off the shelf. I did not. And this is not an up-to-date picture. I need to take an up-to-date picture. I keep saying it and keep forgetting. But I'm filling my shelves slowly but surely. We'll get there one day because this is a working pantry. Even though this my long-term food pantry, it is still a working pantry because you have to rotate your food so it does, so it stays as fresh as possible in there. When you're eating out of it, you replace it next time you go grocery shopping, okay? So y'all take care, stay safe. I love you again. See you in the next one.